told Trump you ain't gonna blink? Well, we ain't either. You ain't above the law. And where you gonna run to when Trump pulls that Trump card out on you?
There's a 10-year prison sentence when you want to stand up here for those illegals.
You all sit up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that on illegals. You campaigned and doubled down that you would not raise property taxes. I ain't gonna do that. You campaigned, went around doing that. And here we are right now. You wanted to raise our taxes $300 million. They shut it down. Now we back here for $150 million. Okay. See, this is what we asking now. Since you want to crash out, some of y'all say y'all willing to go to jail for it. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example out this Negro right here first. Please come here first, because you know what? We're going to help you. We want a forensic
Ma'am, I would ask that you,
keep
your, hold on a second, stop her time. Stop her time. Just a second. Stop her time. Ma'am, I would ask that you, if you want to continue speaking, you have to make sure that your language is appropriate, okay? All right.
Alex.
Okay, you can begin her time again.
You're gonna spend our tax dollars to go, Michael Rodriguez, you said to take Trump to court to protect these illegals. You said you're gonna spend our tax dollars to take Trump to court to protect these illegals if they try to come in your district.
Boy, we got to talk about what could be some fireworks on Trump's first day in office after he is inaugurated, as the Wall Street Journal is reporting that Trump is going to begin large-scale deportations Tuesday, with Chicago, the city we're not supposed to talk about, right, being the first target, okay, an early target, with as many as 200 officers being sent to carry out the operation. Okay, now this is something that has been promised by Tom Homan. Okay, he pulled up to Chicago and he told Mayor Brandon Johnson to his face that, hey, we are going to send ICE agents into your city and we're going to conduct the mass deportations. Okay, and we dare you to stop us. Now, what I find to be hilarious about this is that Brandon Johnson, the woke mayor of Chicago, is the same guy that was boohoo whining and crying when Texas was sending Chicago illegal immigrants, right? Because they're a sanctuary city.
The issue is not just how we respond in the city of Chicago. It's the fact that we have a governor, an elected official in the state of Texas that is placing families on buses without shoes, cold, wet, tired, hungry, afraid, traumatized, and then they come to the city of Chicago where we have homelessness, we have mental health clinics that have been shut down and closed. You have people who are seeking employment. The governor of Texas needs to take a look in the mirror of the chaos that he is causing for this country. This is not just a Chicago dynamic. He is attacking our country.
He was boo whining and crying about that. But now all of a sudden, when the federal government comes along and say, okay, hey, wait, we want to help you out, okay, by removing the illegals. Now all of a sudden, he's mad about that too.
I'm just saying, I'm offering to the people of Chicago, I'm going to stand up and protect the people of this city against every threat from this administration. And I hope the rest of the people in this room in the city of Chicago takes his threat as seriously as I do. Undermining public accommodations, going after undocumented people, it's a threat to our civility and to our democracy.
Yeah, so you see, now you heard that. It's amazing how that works. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? If you send the illegal immigrants to a sanctuary city, oh, this is hatred, this is bigotry, this is racism. You're targeting the black man, right? This is what woke Mayor Brandon Johnson said, okay? You're targeting the black man if you send the illegals to the cities that say that they love illegal immigrants, right? Amazing. But then when the federal government offers to deport the illegals, okay, to take them off your hands, okay, to send them back where they came from. Oh, no, that's racism as well, too. That's bigotry. That's hate. We can't allow that, okay? So I don't know how you win with these people. I really don't. Somebody help me figure it out. With that being said, of course, the mainstream liberal media, the liberals in the mainstream liberal media, they're reacting to the threats of mass deportations, the reports that Trump is going to start doing this as early as Tuesday. They're reacting in the way that you would expect, which is to deflect the blame and criticism from the illegals. And no, let's actually talk about how bad the American citizens are, right? The people who are actually born here. Let's talk about how bad they are, not the illegals.
I think, though, that what's important to remember is that a lot of the policies that were put in place by the Biden administration are going to be taken away, so that hopefully we go back to the Trump way it was, where the stay in Mexico policy. I mean, we had a week and a half ago in Boston, we had a situation where an illegal was in a housing unit with over $1 million worth of fentanyl, an AK-47 and weapons. And these are the type of people that they want to get rid of.
We have
These
American
are the people,
citizens
I mean,
in Las
there are going to be
Vegas
plenty of
and
people,
New Orleans who are killing
plenty of
people as well.
criminals.
I mean, we have American citizens in the United States who are committing acts of terrorism, who are committing murders and crimes. In fact, American citizens, natural-born American citizens, are more likely to commit those crimes than people who come here as immigrants.
Then they have to face the court as well.
It's easy to pick out a case and cherry pick this and say, this is the problem that we're all facing because this one person did this one horrible thing. And we can all agree that that's a horrible thing. But that's not how you make policy. You don't make policy because of anecdotal evidence. You make policy based on facts and statistics and data.
Yeah. And the facts, statistics, and data shows that every illegal immigrant that has entered this country is a criminal because they committed the crime of coming into the country illegally, right? Which is a crime, which would mean that the crime rate for illegal immigrants is higher than that of the native-born population, right? Of the American people. Again, I love how they throw that out there, right? About illegal immigrants and how, well, hey, you shouldn't worry about them committing crimes. You need to worry about the American people, American citizens committing crimes. It's a slap in the face, right? It really is, okay? They're once again showing you that they prioritize everybody else. They care more about everybody else except the American people, okay? That's how liberals think. So that being said, this should be devastating news for woke Mayor Brandon Johnson that Trump is going to target Chicago first, okay? One of the first mass deportation operations. I also think he's going to target DC and Denver as well, too. And I think one of the amazing parts about this is that, like I talked about yesterday, the illegals are already self-deporting, okay? And the ones that are not sure, they're showing up to the immigration offices, essentially outing themselves, saying, hey, what can I do? I'm afraid I'm going to get deported by the orange man.
This video, long lines and growing fears outside the Carolinas' only ICE office.
People have been sleeping outside the ICE office on Tyvola Road. There's fear that once President-elect Donald Trump is sworn in on Monday, the chances of deportation will go up.
Channel 9's Joe Bruno talked to an immigration lawyer. He is joining us live. Joe, not much that can be done for some of these people.
Yeah, President Donald Trump has made it clear he's going to crack down on illegal immigration. But an immigration attorney told us at this point there isn't anything people can really do ahead of time while Biden is still in office. But still, for days, we've seen extremely long lines outside of the ICE office here in Southwest Charlotte. And some people are telling us it's because they are afraid.
The weather was in the 20s and the line outside was in the hundreds. Robert Barker arrived at 3 a.m. and was the 60th person waiting.
It's frustrating. It is really frustrating.
Barker had to submit paperwork. He was originally given an appointment for last week, only to be told to come back this week. For the past 3 days, he's been trying, and after hours of waiting, he finally got through.
People line wall to wall. I mean, just, man. People upon people upon people. And they move pretty fast in there, but there's a system and it's broken.
Everyone in line has a different reason for wanting to come before ICE. Some may be trying to check in with ICE before an immigration hearing or attempt to renew their parole, which is essentially permission to remain in the U.S. for a set period of time. people who entered under the Biden administration entered under parole. Over the past 2 days, we've heard a similar thought process from many in line. They are trying to check in with ICE now before President Donald Trump returns to office.
I'm fearful. We are all fearful. The news, the gossip, that people are going to get deported, one gets very scared. But I have to take a risk.
Breaking news on the growing mass deportation concerns here in our area as President-elect Donald Trump prepares to take office in a matter of days. A new report out from the Wall Street Journal citing multiple sources saying the incoming administration is planning a, quote, large-scale immigration raid in Chicago next week. ABC News has not yet independently confirmed that reporting.
But it comes amid rising concerns over the mass deportation plan that Trump's border czar has promised to carry out. Tom Homan appearing on Fox News tonight saying there will be, quote, a big raid all across the country. ABC 7's Trey Ward live in studio tonight with breaking developments. Trey.
And according to that Wall Street Journal, the raid in Chicago is expected to begin Tuesday morning, one day after President-elect Trump's inauguration. Their report adding that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement will send as many as 200 officers to carry this out. President-elect Trump's campaign promise of mass deportations is what his incoming border czar, Tom Homan, is expected to fulfill, saying this just last month to a crowd of loyal Republicans in Chicago.
And all that starts on January 21st. Yeah! And we're going to start right here in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah!
According to the Wall Street Journal, the Trump administration will target undocumented immigrants with criminal backgrounds, many of them with minor offenses like driving violations. Concerns now looming over the city's Little Village neighborhood, including with food vendors like this woman who were not identified because she's undocumented. She says she believes this corridor will become less busy next week and beyond, hurting many families' wallets.
The economy is going to go down. We're not going to be able to come out because of the fear of the raids.
Governor J.B. Pritzker's office standing firm on his comments made last month.
He does not have the authority to do the things that he's talked about. Being a border czar is not an official position in the government.
With classes resuming next Wednesday, CPS promising undocumented students will be protected. Mayor Brandon Johnson today acknowledging many families' fears, and city leaders reaffirmed Chicago's commitment to being a sanctuary city.
But we cannot allow fear and panic to disrupt and to block our unwavering desire to see hope truly manifest.
And the Chicago Police Department tells ABC 7 they will continue to enforce Chicago's Welcoming City Ordinance. Their statement goes on to say, quote, CPD does not document immigration status and in accordance with the ordinance does not share information with federal immigration authorities. We will not intervene or interfere with any other government agencies performing their duties. We also reached out to Mayor Johnson's office for comment, but have not heard back tonight.
Yeah, I mean, what can you really say, right? Besides boohoo, whine, and crying racism, right? That's the only thing he gonna do. He gonna cry about it, right? That's the only response he can give. But one of the reasons why I love this, and I talked about this yesterday when I covered the story about how illegal immigrants are already mass deporting themselves. I said, well, yeah, I personally believe that the Trump administration has to make a spectacle out of the mass deportations. It needs to be televised, right, on national television, okay? I need to see the ICE agents going into these places where the illegal immigrants hang out and deport them, right? We need to see it on day one. Why do I say that? Well, the reason why I say that is because that creates the effect of more fear, okay, and uncertainty. And the illegal immigrants, they don't like to live in fear and uncertainty. And a lot of them would much rather leave, deport themselves, rather than to live in fear and uncertainty, okay? And again, that's 100% the reason why this is being done on the first day is to set the tone to let them know, hey, you're not safe, right? If you come into this country illegally, we're coming after you, okay? So, don't come to this country if you don't want to live in fear. Go ahead and leave. Go ahead and self-deport if you don't want to live in fear. Nobody wants to live in fear, okay? So when you create fear, right, that incentivizes action. It incentivizes the people who are here to make the decision of, okay, do I really want to continue to live under these circumstances, right? Or I just want to go ahead and go, right? Let me go back to Mexico and get me a deportation flight to Cuba or Venezuela or Haiti or wherever they from, right? Let me go ahead and do that. I'm just saying, A lot of them are making that choice. And then the ones that are thinking about coming here, hey, again, do you want to live in fear? Do you want to cross that border and know that your journey is not done, right? It's not done. Now, all of a sudden, you got to live in fear every day. So again, if you got to live in fear in the United States of America, is it worth coming? That's the point, right? That's the point. Rhetoric matters, okay? So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the mass deportations. Again, I hope they're televised. I hope they're on national television. I hope that we see people boohoo, whining, and crying all over television. That's exactly what we need to see. We need to see the imagery. And some people are not going to be able to stomach it, right? Liberals are not going to be able to stomach it, okay? But again, this is why this job is not for the faint of heart, right? It's not for these type of people, okay? It's for people who understand that, you know what, hard decisions have to be made, that feelings have to be hurt in order to protect this country. It's really that simple. So, hey, we'll see how woke Mayor Brandon Johnson responds. And